god, bro. If you've been watching me for a long time, then you already know how much I really enjoy eldritch horror or cosmic horror, Lovecraftian horror, however you want to call it. I call it cosmic horror or Lovecraftian. It really all falls under Lovecraftian, like just the whole Lovecraftian mood, the whole Lovecraftian setting, you know, 8-headed beings, and then when you look into the pupils of those beings, you see a mother holding their baby, and then that baby is just sucking on the mother's breast, and then freaking the baby looks at you, and then you just see your whole past, present, and future, like on some crazy shit like that. I'm finna tell you 3 reasons on why I think this should be in almost every single cultivation novel, especially in cultivation, but this could be in any work of fiction. I think it spices up anything, but I'm specifically going to be talking about examples in cultivation novels and using examples that align with cultivation, because obviously I'm a cultivation YouTuber. I don't know why I have to keep on explaining this, but let's get into it already, because this applies to anything. You can apply this to absolutely anything and it will spice it up. I'm telling you, bro, it could be a generic anime. If it has some cosmic horror, I don't even care if it has a harem. Let me read it. The 3 things are fresh cultivation mechanics, deepened world building, and hiding narrative tension. Now, each of these 3 things have 3 different subpoints that I'm going to dive further into. Let's just get into it already. Let's get into fresh cultivation mechanics. Fresh cultivation mechanics. So I'm sick and tired of seeing the same things. Like I said earlier, I'm sick and tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. And when you add cosmic horror, when you add Lovecraftian, let's just say Lovecraftian for now. When you add that Lovecraftian genre onto it, the techniques, especially the body refining techniques, I know are finna be fucking insane. I know the MC just ain't gonna get some normal dragon bloodline. I know he isn't just gonna get some normal phoenix bloodline. I know he isn't just gonna get the normal primordial dragon. Nah. I know he isn't just gonna be learning the normal law of fate. He's gonna be learning some crazy shit. And even the law of fate and the river of time in an eldritch in a Lovecraftian novel, bro, it works so much differently, bro. I feel like seeing a bro, in a world like cultivation where we see the same thing over and over again, this body refining technique, oh my god, bro, bronze skin, bro, oh my god, like we barely even see the 3-headed no, never mind, we do be seeing like the 3 heads, 9-arm monsters low key, bro. But not a lot. We be seeing the elemental bodies. I'm sick and tired of seeing the freaking dragon physiques, the dragon elephant physiques, draconic bloodlines, like, especially bloodlines. I already know when you introduce some Lovecraftian shit to it, bro, it's gonna have some crazy bloodlines. I'm talking about the MC's gonna have a bloodline from an old one, and this bloodline allows him to see through the veil, but every time he see through the veil, he's seeing crazy beings. He's like, yo, what is this? He think he crazy his whole life, but it turns out he got a crazy bloodline. Another thing with that ties into forbidden cultivation mechanics is the risk-reward dynamic. When I know you're cultivating in an eldritch world, I know you have to do some crazy shit. I know every single technique could be a danger. You gotta watch out now. You can't, this type of energy, bro, if you cultivate it, it could be kind of insane, but who knows where this energy came from, bro? It could be leading to a mysterious being. Or maybe when you're cultivating this technique, oh my god, watch out, man, because it could be leading you to a higher being. Bro, I'm talking, oh my god. Hold on, we're gonna get into that point later. I'm not trying to jump ahead. I could talk all day about it. The 3rd point that I want to tie into, which I kind of hinted upon earlier, which is the final point for fresh cultivation mechanics, is the physical transformations. Like I said earlier, I know it ain't gonna be no normal draconic bloodline. I know it isn't going to be no normal phoenix bloodline. I know it's not going to be no normal dragon elephant, the lightning body, 5 elemental body, 5 elemental root. Oh my god. I know he's finna be some crazy shit. If I know he's finna get a crazy body cultivation technique, freak 3 heads and 9 arms, I'm seeing 999 arms and 999 heads, and each of those heads is a different identity, and it's actually an identity that the MC got from each and every single timeline that he went through and he saw through and cultivated fully, because he cultivates a crazy technique where he could drop crazy Dharma clones. Like, that's how it would be, bro. Actually, tying into all of that goes into my 2nd major point, deepen world building. Because you introduce Lovecraftian elements to the novel or the piece of fiction, whatever that you're doing, you're incorporating eldritch entities, artifacts, history, and all types of cosmic lore. When I hear cosmic horror, I know it's gonna be some crazy shit. I know the lore if the lore is either deeper than what it seems, or it's just crazy. Like, it's either the Lord of the Mysteries or the Primordial Record. The Primordial Record was crazy off the bat. It's like, what is happening here? Oh my god, that's that. What the freak? Or it's like Lord of Mystery, where it's like, okay, we chilling, but you know something's a little off, you know what I mean? Something a little, you know what I mean? This is coming from the perspective of somebody who only, you know what I mean, read half of Volume 1. So, like, Lord of Mystery is like cosmic horror-ish, but it's like, it's something like, it's really grounded. But I don't know, a lot of people say, yo, man, you gotta finish Volume 1, bro, because that's when the shit get crazy, But, like my example I said earlier, bro, about the 999 head and 999 arm, bro, let's just say that being is literally like the king of hell, and and let's just say him and God has been fighting, and that's the whole reason why they even have a reincarnation cycle in the first place, because let's just say they use the death and they gain the souls from different, like, I don't know, bro, who knows, bro, they be some crazy lore like that, but that's the type of thing I'm talking about, the ancient mystery. And through that, you have diverse factions, people praising the different gods. Little do they know that their god is actually farming them for the power of fate, and it's showing that their god don't even care about them. These mortals think that their god is watching over them. Nah, they use them for the power of faith and dip, because they trying to hit a higher realm. He ain't never coming back down, bro. We trying to out here farm this crazy power of faith, bro. Thank you for the power, though. It helped me in that last battle. And because these sects and cults and stuff like that devote themselves to these entities, and they're usually demonic, cause a whole bunch of socio-political drama, a whole bunch of niggas getting murdered, mortals' lives are getting thrown away because they're getting thrown into rituals, and then our good guy MC is like, oh my god, I gotta save them all. Totally not talking about a regressive tale of cultivation. Another thing that is also introduced, and this is the final point to the deepened world building, is more ambiguity. I feel like when you interact with incomprehensible beings, and I really felt this with regressor tale of cultivation, as he got stronger, I start to see, and even MC started to see why the beings who are stronger act the way they do and do the way they do. Although our MC doesn't necessarily fault everything these beings do. Well, these cultivators do, because these cultivators are incomprehensible beings, at least in a regressor tale of cultivation. They're the eldritch being. It's something where it's like, it's a matter of perspective almost. It's not really a notion of traditional good and evil. It's everything starts to have like a gray line. It starts to be it's not even an argument of black and white anymore, like black versus white, good versus bad, bro. Like, it's really like a gray area where you actually have to think and sit down and be like, dang, bro, if you look at it this way, that person is bad, but if you look at it from their perspective, is it really all that bad? That's one thing I really loved about Primordial Record. Like, we see Rowan slaying all these mortals. He's literally throwing the world seeds inside of these planets, and when he do that, all the mortals, well, most mortals literally die just from, literally 30% of the population died just from him dropping a world seed deep inside of the earth. But he knows that the gains are greater than the sacrifice, bro. And it's that type of perspective where it makes you question, dang, is Rowan good or evil? And even he questioned that. Is he good? Is he evil? Or is he just doing things to get somewhere, to get by? Like, bro, come on, bro. It's really... Primordial Record, I really got to do a review on that, bro. Talking about the Primordial Record, we know it's one thing the Primordial Record nailed, and I even said it earlier, like so much shit going on, is heightened narrative tension. Oh my god, heightened narrative tension. I'm talking about when you add eldritch beings, especially when you know the MC gets powerful enough, the stakes get absolutely higher. The stakes, and because the stakes are higher in the eldritch world, it's not pretty good, because the stronger you are, the closer you are to, let's just say, usually in some eldritch worlds, they be always having there's always gods of some sort, deities, old ones who low-key shape the fundamentals of reality. And, well, shit, the stronger you get, the more you're kind of getting out of line of that, and they see that, and they like, yo, who did do right here? So because of that, you have unpredictable threats. I'm talking about when you introduce eldritch horror, bro, you introduce elements of unpredictability. Who knows what? Bro, you could drop an MC with a system in an eldritch world. He gets a technique from a cave or some inheritance stuff like that. He think he like a normal MC in every other novel. Little does he know, he cultivating a technique that a higher senior eldritch being dropped into. He dropped a myriad of these techniques in the lower world, hoping that some mortal idiot will comprehend this technique technique and cultivate the technique so that when this mortal gets strong enough, he can literally absorb them into his body as cultivation, bro. That's how crazy these beings are in its eldritch world. In fact, the MC, the only reason the MC knows is because he has a system, and the system warned him when he hit level 3 on the technique. Yo, watch out, the eldritch being is pinging you, he's coming to your world. And that's when you're hit with the second point, existential dilemmas. Now, this is when you're like, oh my god, this is when you're confronting a cosmic entity, forces beyond your control, and this is when you're starting to question stuff. Oh my god, I was cultivating this technique. If I was cultivating this technique, and it turns out that this technique was connected to a higher being, did that mean these other 4 techniques, what do these do? Is there some being that's actually spying on me this whole time? Is there some being who's reading my thoughts right now? Do they know I have a system? Actually, now that I think about it, where did this system come from? It's stuff like that. When you add eldritch horror to a novel, a cultivation novel especially, but this could go for any piece of fiction, it adds a whole bunch of existential dilemma and unpredictability. And tying into my last point, psychological conflict. That's it, psychological conflict, bro. When you are faced with the eternal struggle of, man, if this technique, bruh, all these techniques could be bad, should I even cultivate? Should I just be immortal somewhere on some type of random mountain, peering up at the clouds, living a simple life? Maybe get into the real cultivation, as in planting crops, learning automation seeding, learn how to make crazy herb, maybe even join a village, maybe even become the village chief there and live a humble life. Maybe this cultivation shit isn't for me. And it's that internal struggle that they grapple with that's corrupting the influence in their motive, that it kind of adds it adds friction, bro. And it's this loop that you add. It's this triangle, bro. If you could add fresh cultivation mechanics with deep in world history or world building, and in heightened narrative tension with the eldritch elements, with all those 9 points that I mentioned. Well, it's really 3 major points with 3 minor points with each of them. But I'm telling you, bro, I'm gonna even put this in the description, bro, so you could be able to, because these are literally notes that I wrote out. Like, that's why, like, I'm stumbling on and stuff like that. These are notes that I wrote down. But I'm gonna leave this in the description so you'll be able to know which point I'm talking about and which point is which, because this is very, very important if you want to write a cosmic horror novel or Lovecraftian novel. And look, I'm not saying that you need Lovecraftian in a novel. I don't actually think a lot of these guys who write Lovecraftian novels do it right. I think H.P. Lovecraft is still the best, and I don't think nobody has ever topped him. Yeah, the Primordial Record, cool, and I haven't read Lord of Mysteries yet. Niggas saying that's good, but I doubt that's going to be able to top the man, the myth, the legend himself, because it's more than just scaling and crazy powers, world busting, and cosmic entities. It's that grappling sense of, it's really the heightened narrative tension that I really love about Lovecraftian. That psychological conflict, that unpredictable threat, that freaking existential dilemma, bro, not knowing what is what. And I feel like in a cultivation world where anything goes under heaven, anything can happen, I feel like that just makes sense. That randomness, especially how crazy these niggas get being inside all day, cooped up, absorbing spiritual energy, staring at a rock, hoping to learn some law from it. God dang. And and when you go closer to divinity, I feel like, don't it make sense that as time goes on, you live so long, certain stuff just start to become null and void? Maybe you look at things differently than other people. I feel like that's not really emphasized in cultivation novels as much. And this is why most cosmic, I ain't gonna lie to you, the cosmic horror novels I read always have a better edge than any piece of fiction I ever. That's all I'm saying. If you add cosmic horror to a piece of fiction, you get a +5 buff from me. This has been your boy Boofy, aka Boofpack. I'm not saying that you have to add it, but if you want that +5 buff, okay, I'm out. Peace.